There exists a structure on this earth that defies every law we thought we understood about ancient civilizations. A monument so precise in its construction that modern engineers armed with laser technology and computer modeling still cannot fully explain how it was built. The Great Pyramid of Giza stands as a testament to knowledge that should not have existed, containing mathematical constants that would not be discovered for another 4,000 years, aligned to true north with an accuracy that surpasses most modern buildings, and encoded with dimensions that mirror the very architecture of our planet and cosmos. For centuries, we have been told a story, that this wonder was merely a tomb, a grandiose burial chamber for a pharaoh obsessed with immortality. But what if this narrative, repeated in every textbook and documentary, is the greatest misdirection in archaeological history? What if the Great Pyramid was never meant to house the dead, but to awaken the living? The evidence hidden in plain sight suggests something far more extraordinary. A machine, a resonator, a gateway, a technology disguised as architecture, waiting for humanity to remember how to read its true language. Consider this. No mummy has ever been found inside the Great Pyramid. No hieroglyphics adorn its inner chambers, unlike every other Egyptian tomb. The granite coffer in the king's chamber rings with a specific frequency when struck, a frequency that matches the fundamental vibration of the earth itself. The queen's chamber contains mysterious shafts that point to specific stars, conduits that seem designed for something other than ventilation. And deep beneath the pyramid, in chambers rarely spoken of, there exists evidence of water erosion, chemical residues, and electromagnetic anomalies that conventional archaeology refuses to address. Tonight, we pierce the veil of assumption. We examine the forbidden measurements, the suppressed discoveries, the ancient texts that speak of the pyramid as something alive, something functional, something that once hummed with a power we have forgotten how to perceive. The builders left us a message written in stone, mathematics, and celestial alignment. The question is whether we are ready to decode what they were truly trying to tell us about the nature of reality itself. The ancient Egyptians called it Iket, meaning glorious light. Not tomb, not monument, but light. The Arab historians of the 9th century, with access to texts now lost, wrote of the pyramid as Kut, the sanctuary where the cosmic sciences were preserved before a great deluge. The Coptic traditions speak of it as the pillar that holds up the sky, a phrase that makes no sense until you understand what the pyramid might actually be doing on an energetic level. In the Temple of Edfu, hieroglyphic texts describe the pyramid as being built according to a plan that fell from heaven. These builder texts, as they are known, speak of divine architects who possessed the knowledge of working with sound and light to shape matter itself. They reference measurements given by Thoth, the god of wisdom, who was said to have encoded universal constants into the very dimensions of the structure. This was not mythology to them. This was history, technical history, speaking in the only language that could survive millennia. The Arabic manuscript known as the Akbar Ezaman, preserved in Oxford, tells of machines within the pyramid, instruments that could produce sounds no human ear could tolerate, vibrations that could lift massive stones or reduce them to powder. Al-Masudi, the 10th century historian called the Herodotus of the Arabs, wrote that the pyramid contained 30 chambers filled with strange apparatus, imperishable materials, and glass that could bend but not break. He described carved ceilings that mapped the heavens with such accuracy that future positions of stars could be predicted for thousands of years. But perhaps most intriguing are the Hermetic texts, those repositories of Egyptian wisdom filtered through Greek and Roman minds. They speak of the pyramid as a representation of the cosmos in stone, where each measurement, each angle, each relationship between spaces encoded fundamental truths about reality. As above, so below was not just philosophy. It was an instruction manual, and the pyramid was its physical manifestation. The Westcar Papyrus mentions secret chambers of Thoth hidden within the pyramid complex, chambers that contained the books of sacred knowledge from before the flood. The Turin Papyrus speaks of the pyramid as existing before the pharaohs, already ancient when the first dynasties began. These are not fantasies but historical documents, dismissed because they do not fit the comfortable narrative of primitive ancients slowly evolving toward our supposed superiority. The Great Pyramid incorporates the golden ratio, phi, throughout its geometry. This is the mathematical constant that governs growth patterns in nature, from nautilus shells to galaxy spirals. The perimeter of the pyramid divided by twice its height gives you pi to 15 decimal places. The king's chamber is positioned at the exact center of gravity of the entire structure. The weight of the pyramid, approximately 6 million tons, creates a gravitational anomaly measurable by sensitive instruments. These are not accidents. These are messages written in the language of physics. Christopher Dunn, a master engineer with decades of experience in precision manufacturing, examined the pyramid with the eyes of someone who builds machines, not monuments. What he found revolutionized our understanding. The precision of the stone cutting surpasses modern capabilities. The flatness of surfaces reaches optical quality. The right angles are perfect to within fractions of a degree. Tool marks on granite cores show evidence of drilling techniques that would require diamond-tipped bits, rotating at impossible speeds for Bronze Age technology. Inside the king's chamber, the walls, floor and ceiling are composed of giant granite blocks, some weighing 70 tons, brought from Aswan 500 miles away. But here is what archaeology does not emphasize. Granite contains quartz crystal. When quartz is put under pressure, it generates an electrical charge, a phenomenon called piezoelectricity. The entire chamber is essentially a massive crystal resonator, and when sound of specific frequencies is introduced, the chamber amplifies and sustains these vibrations in ways that suggest deliberate acoustic engineering. The Queen's chamber reveals even deeper mysteries. The shafts that extend from this room were initially thought to be air vents, but they are sealed at both ends. They point to specific stars, one to Sirius, the star most sacred to the Egyptians, and one to the constellation Orion, which they associated with Osiris. Recent robotic exploration found doors with copper handles deep within these shafts, and behind these doors, empty spaces and more barriers. Why create such elaborate internal architecture if this was merely a tomb? Beneath the pyramid, the subterranean chamber defies explanation. Carved from solid bedrock, it appears unfinished, chaotic, purposeless unless you understand resonance. The irregular surfaces, the mysterious pit, the rough-hewn passages, all combine to create specific acoustic properties. Some researchers have detected electromagnetic phenomena in this space, fluctuations that correspond to telluric currents in the Earth. The pyramid, it seems, is interacting with planetary energy fields in ways we are only beginning to measure. Water, the element most crucial to life and most conductive to energy. Ancient accounts speak of water beneath and around the pyramid. Recent surveys have detected underground water channels, now dry, that once flowed beneath the Giza plateau. The Greek historian Herodotus wrote of machines that raised water to great heights within the pyramid. Chemical analysis of salt deposits in the Queen's chamber suggests prolonged exposure to water vapor, possibly mixed with other chemicals. Tesla understood what the ancients knew. The Earth itself is a dynamo generating vast electrical fields. When you combine water, mineral salts, and the proper geometric structures, you can tap into this planetary circuit. The pyramid's limestone casing, now mostly gone, was originally covered with highly polished white Tura limestone that acted as an insulator. The capstone, according to ancient accounts, was made of electrum, a naturally occurring alloy of gold and silver, highly conductive. The entire structure was essentially a massive capacitor, capable of accumulating and discharging enormous energetic potential. The sarcophagus in the king's chamber, that granite box that never held a mummy, resonates at 440 Hz when struck, a frequency that has profound effects on consciousness and biological systems. This is the concert pitch used in many ancient musical traditions, the frequency of the note A that some believe creates harmony between human consciousness and cosmic rhythms. Initiates would lie in this resonant chamber, not in death, but in induced states of consciousness that allowed direct perception of what the Egyptians called the duat, the realm beyond physical reality. Russian scientists have constructed pyramid models and documented extraordinary phenomena. Seeds stored in these pyramids show increased growth rates and resistance to disease. Water placed inside pyramid structures maintains its purity far longer than control samples. Razor blades maintain their sharpness. Meditation inside pyramid spaces produces measurable changes in brainwave patterns, shifts toward gamma waves associated with heightened awareness and transcendent states. The shape itself seems to focus and amplify subtle energies that mainstream science does not yet have instruments sensitive enough to fully detect. The healing chambers theory gains credibility when you examine the precision of the internal spaces. Each chamber creates different resonant frequencies. The Grand Gallery, with its corbelled ceiling and precise angles, acts as a resonator that could amplify and direct sound waves. Ancient Egyptian medical papyri speak of healing through sound, through specific tones that could restore harmony to diseased tissue. Modern research in cymatics and sound therapy is rediscovering what the builders apparently knew: that frequency and vibration are the keys to affecting matter at its most fundamental level. But there is another function, one whispered in hermetic circles and mystery schools: the pyramid as an ascension machine, a technology for consciousness expansion. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, more accurately translated as the Book of Coming Forth by Day, describes the journey of consciousness through various chambers and passages that mirror the internal architecture of the pyramid. These were not metaphors, but instructions, a manual for using the pyramid's energetic properties to achieve what they called becoming an Ak, a glorified being of light. To experience even a fraction of what the pyramid offers, we must approach it as the ancients did, with preparation and intent. Here is a practice you can perform anywhere, designed to attune your consciousness to pyramid energy. Find a quiet space where you will not be disturbed. Sit comfortably with your spine straight, imagining yourself at the center of a pyramid of light. The apex extends above your crown. The base extends around you in a perfect square. Begin breathing deeply and slowly. With each inhale, visualize golden light entering through the apex of your imaginary pyramid, flowing down through your crown and filling your entire being. With each exhale, see this light radiating outward through the pyramid walls, creating a field of coherent energy around you. Continue this for 9 breaths, the sacred number of completion in Egyptian numerology. Now, bring your attention to your heart center. Visualize a small pyramid of pure crystalline light forming there, pulsing with each heartbeat. This is your inner pyramid, your personal connection to the geometric templates that govern reality. Feel it resonate with the Earth's magnetic field below you and the cosmic frequencies above. Maintain this visualization for several minutes, allowing any insights or sensations to arise naturally. To complete the practice, place your palms together at your heart level, forming a triangle with your hands and arms. Speak these words, adapted from ancient Egyptian texts: I am the pyramid, eternal and incorruptible. I am the meeting place of heaven and earth. Through me the light descends and ascends. Through me the mysteries are preserved and revealed. Close by, taking 3 deep breaths, allowing the pyramid visualization to dissolve, while maintaining the sense of centered alignment it created. The Great Pyramid stands as humanity's most enigmatic inheritance, a structure that encodes within its stones the memories of a civilization that understood the universe in ways we are only beginning to rediscover. Every measurement whispers of lost sciences. Every chamber suggests functions beyond our current comprehension. Every alignment points to a deliberate attempt to create something that would survive not just centuries, but cataclysms, waiting for the moment when humanity would again be ready to understand its true purpose. We have been programmed to see the pyramid as a relic, an impressive but ultimately primitive attempt at immortality by ancient kings. But what if it is exactly the opposite? What if it is a gift from an advanced understanding, a tool left for us to discover when we reach the necessary level of consciousness to use it properly? The evidence suggests that the Great Pyramid was many things simultaneously: a power generator tapping Earth's electromagnetic field, a harmonic resonator capable of affecting consciousness and matter, an initiation chamber for inducing transcendent states, a preservation vault for crucial knowledge. a stabilizing node in a global energy grid we no longer perceive. The builders encoded their message in the only language that transcends time: mathematics, geometry, astronomy, and frequency. They knew that civilizations rise and fall, that languages die and are forgotten, that even stone crumbles eventually. But they also knew that certain truths are eternal, that the laws of physics and the patterns of cosmos remain constant. So they built their knowledge into a structure so massive, so precisely constructed, so enigmatic that it would demand investigation by any civilization advanced enough to recognize its impossibility. The pyramid is not sleeping, it is waiting for us to remember how to activate it, how to read it, how to use it as it was intended. Every year, new discoveries reveal aspects of its construction and function that shouldn't exist according to our historical timeline. Every investigation with modern technology uncovers another layer of sophistication that pushes back the boundaries of what we thought the ancients capable of achieving. Perhaps the greatest secret of the Great Pyramid is that it was never meant to be a secret at all. It was meant to be a beacon, a reminder, a teacher standing in plain sight, too obvious to ignore, yet too mysterious to fully comprehend. It challenges us to expand our understanding not just of the past, but of what is possible. It stands as proof that humanity has touched greatness before and encoded that greatness in stone for us to rediscover. The question now is not what the Great Pyramid was, but what it still is, and what it is waiting to become again when we finally remember how to listen to what the stones have been singing all along. The greatest tomb ever built never held a body, because it was never about death. It was always about transformation, about the technology of transcendence, about the science of becoming more than human. The pharaohs may have claimed it, religions may have mythologized it, tourism may have commercialized it, but the pyramid itself remains unchanged, still broadcasting its frequency to those who know how to tune in, still offering its gifts to those brave enough to receive them. If you felt the resonance of these words, if something deep within you recognizes truths that your conscious mind cannot quite grasp, then perhaps you are one of those the builders were speaking to across the millennia. The pyramid is not just their legacy, it is their invitation. The door has always been open. The question is whether we are ready to walk through it.